Are you aware that you can pay into someone else's pension? In this video, I'll explain the rules and how this could make your money go further during retirement as compared with just paying into your own pension. Why contribute to someone else's pension? Paying into somebody else's pension is known as a third-party contribution, and I'll cover more on the rules about this in the next part of the video. These third-party contributions can be a highly useful financial planning tool, particularly if the person that you're making the contributions to hasn't been able to build up any pension for themselves, perhaps because they have taken a long career break, looking after young children, or taking care of elderly parents, and so for whatever reason not able to work. For example, if you are the sole breadwinner and you are only paying into your own pension, you will end up paying more tax in retirement as compared with if you were both able to contribute to your pensions. You will end up paying more tax overall. So in that sense, it's in your interest to be contributing to your spouse's pension so that you're able to pay less tax in order to achieve the same overall joint income. And the very simple reason for this is because if the entirety of your retirement income is coming out of one pension fund, you won't be making use of both of your personal allowances. Let's illustrate this with an example. If you have a target joint income of £45,000 and this is coming out of one pension fund, then you would need to take £54,000 gross every year. However, if this target income was split across two pension funds, then you would only need to take £25,000 from each, saving you a total of £4,000 in tax each year. But it's not just spouses or partners who can pay into each other's pensions. Parents, grandparents or guardians can also pay into a pension for a child. This will give them an amazing head start to save for their future. And indeed other family members such as uncles and aunts can also contribute. And this could be a great way of taking financial pressure away from children, but young adults in particular, where they might have other saving priorities, other spending priorities in their early adulthood, such as saving up for a deposit for a house, and they are channeling all their money in that direction and therefore missing out on the long-term impact of compounding. But look out for a future video that I'm making, that I've got in the queue, that is talking about the downsides of the bank of mum and dad, so look out for that video coming out soon. How much can I contribute to someone's pension? The current rules are that you can contribute £2,880 per year into a non-working person's pension, and the tax relief tops this up to £3,600 per year. And pension contributions can also be made to a working spouse, providing that the contributions are below their annual allowance, which is £60,000, or their registered earnings, whichever is lower. And the tax relief that the recipient receives is based on their tax position rather than the person contributing to their pension. So say for example you are a higher rate taxpayer and you pay 40% at your marginal rate and your spouse is a 20% taxpayer. That means that the tax relief will be 20% because it's going into their pension, despite the fact that you as the contributing person get 40% tax relief. And perhaps stating the obvious, that if you are contributing to somebody else's pension, make sure you're aware of other contributions that are going in there to make sure that you're not going over the annual allowance, whatever annual allowance applies to them. Because normally it's not possible to open a pension scheme for someone else. They have to open the pension scheme themselves and then you can contribute to it. However, with children's pension schemes, the legal guardian or parent opens the scheme rather than the child. How much could I boost someone's pension by? Third-party contributions can be made in different ways. You can either pay one-off lump sums, as and when you have the spare cash to contribute to their pension, or you could set up regular payments. So if no one else is paying into that pension, and say for example it's your wife's pension, in that situation you could consider trying to contribute the full £2,880 per year. That's if you have enough cash, of course. The YouTube analytics tells me that most viewers are in their 50s like me, but if you happen to be younger, and say for example you are 35 right now, you and your wife, and again most of my viewers are male, and it does tend to be women that give up work when you have children. I'm not trying to be gender stereotypical about this, so please don't leave angry comments. But when a couple have their first child, which is typically in their mid-30s, it's invariably the mum that gives up work rather than the dad. I know that's not exclusive, but it usually is the mum that would give up work if indeed either of you are stopping work for a period of time. I don't know why I'm stumbling over this, but anyway, you are both 35 years old. The mum gives up work for a period of time. And if for those 5 years alone, you are contributing the £2,880 into her pension, by the time she turns 67, that will have turned into an additional £61,000 in her pension. And I mean, I'm assuming that maybe she'll go back to work at some point, but even if she doesn't and makes no other contributions, that's an additional £61,000 in her pension that you can both use to be tax efficient in retirement that she otherwise wouldn't have had during that period of non-working. And that's at a cost to you as the contributor of just £14,400. You are turning £14,400 into £61,000, and I'm only assuming a 4% growth rate there on top of fees for that pension performance. If it manages to perform above a net of 4% gain each year, then it could turn into so much more. Let me know in the comments if you were already aware or not that you could pay into somebody else's pension. And as a brief reminder, I am a financial coach who supports people to achieve their money and life goals, and there is a link in the video description if you would like to book a free call with me. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.